I don't know about you guys, but I always have leftovers after Thanksgiving, and I'm always trying to figure out ways to use them up. So today's video is going to be 2 ways to use up your Thanksgiving leftovers. So this first idea is my take on a cottage or shepherd's pie. I don't think it is traditional ingredients that I'm using, but I'm just kind of using what I have. So I have a pound of ground beef here. I've got 2 packets of brown gravy. I added a little bit of ketchup, and I'm just going to let that all simmer together until it gets thick. Then I'm going to add some mixed vegetables and just put the lid on this until the vegetables are kind of cook through, but not all the way, because again, this is a freezer meal, so I'm going to be putting this in my freezer. After that is all together, I put them into a foil pan, and I thought I was going to get 2 meals out of this, but I ended up not, so that's why I had 2 pans here. But I went ahead and put it all in one pan, and I had a bunch of leftover mashed potatoes, so that is kind of what I'm trying to use up here. You know, you can only eat so many mashed potatoes, and we were definitely to the point where we were done eating mashed potatoes, so that's kind of why I wanted to make this recipe. But I'm going to put all that in the bottom of the pan. I'm going to top it with our leftover mashed potatoes, and then I'm going to top it with some cheese and some French fried onions. I'm definitely someone that likes to have a little bit of crunch with my softer foods, and so that's why I added the French fried onions. I'm also going to be filming a Q&A while I wrap presents very soon, so if you guys have any questions for me, make sure and leave them down below. I will answer them in that video. Next, we are making a turkey and stuffing casserole with leftover turkey, gravy, and stuffing. So I've got my chunks of turkey here. I'm just cutting these up into bite-sized pieces. I don't like big chunks of meat in my meals, so I'm just going to cut it up into smaller pieces. Next, I'm adding my leftover gravy into a pan. I'm just going to let that kind of heat through and break back up. It doesn't look very appetizing when it's cold, but I promise when it heats up, it all comes together. Adding my turkey in and just letting that kind of melt together and letting it heat through. Just to give it a little something extra, I decided to shred up some Swiss cheese. I was originally going to make a chicken cordon bleu copycat casserole, but my ham ended up being mostly fat, so I decided not to add the ham into this, but that's kind of where the Swiss cheese came into play. So I'm just going to shred this up with my favorite cheese grater, and then we will assemble our casserole. Okay, so everything is heated through, so I'm just going to layer everything. So I've got my turkey and my gravy I'm putting in the bottom of this pan. I'm going to top it with most of the Swiss cheese. I'm going to reserve a little bit to put on top, and then I will put my stuffing and then a little more of the cheese on top. Obviously, if you were cooking this and making this right away, you would not need to do this step. You could honestly just heat everything up and then assemble it all in your dish, but I am putting these in the freezer to eat for later. So that's kind of why I'm doing this. Also, so we don't have any leftovers, or so we don't throw anything away. I hate throwing food away. So definitely learning how to repurpose your leftovers is a great skill to have. So hopefully this video gave you guys some motivation or some ideas of a couple ways to use your leftovers. I did have to buy a couple of ingredients, but I still think that the goal was achieved, that I did not have any food waste. So that is going to be it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please subscribe. Other than that, I will see you in my next one. Bye.